If you're of the mind that Bitcoin should have hit $1 million a long time ago, but obviously it hasn't, then Samson Mow has an explanation for why that hasn't solidified just yet. That's coming up on today's video, but before we do, to jump into that, we're going to look at charts, Bitcoin, and the market. Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 28th of May. Let's have a quick look at the charts. The market cap is presently at $3.5 trillion, $122 billion in trading volume. Bitcoin is at 109,000. Ethereum is pumping at $2,600. BNB 689, Solana 178, Cardano at 76 cents, Hedra 19 cents, Toncoin $3, Litecoin at 96 cents, Polkadot 457, Pi Network still at 33rd place at 74 cents. On the daily, the candle has breached the $109,000 all-time high, but then retraced back down below that. So we're still technically below the all-time high. Not to mention that we're nowhere near, well, we're kind of near the new all-time high. Bitcoin is in its 8th week of green candles, which is very unusual. I made a point of saying that in my last video. The last time this occurred, the last time we had 8 straight weeks of green candles was in November of 2008. So having a 9th week in a row, having 8 weeks, green weeks in a row is very uncommon, very unusual. Having a 9th one, if that were to occur, would be very unusual. There's bound to be a retracement coming up sometime soon. No way that this is going to continue. So I think maybe next week will be a red one if we don't see a massive continuation of the pump. For this week, we've got 5 more days left until the end of this week, but I think the next week might be a red one. Might be, maybe not. Solana Strategies files for 1 billion financing flexibility to capitalize on Solana ecosystem growth. By securing regulatory pre-approval to raise capital on demand, Solana Strategies is future-proofing its position in the Solana ecosystem. Sol Strategies has filed a preliminary base shelf prospectus to give itself the option to raise up to $1 billion in capital. If approved, the company can issue a variety of financial instruments without repeating the full prospectus process each time. The CEO stated that the company may never use the full prospectus, but views it as a strategic step to support potential growth. So before you start jumping on the bandwagon and throwing your money buying Solana in expectations of a pump, just keep in mind that this is just a proposal right now. Nothing has been set in stone. Yeah, just keep that in mind. 67,947 Americans warned as US city data breach may have exposed names, dates of birth, social security numbers, and more. This is from yesterday. Cybersecurity incident has compromised the sensitive personal information of tens of thousands of Americans, leaving them exposed to fraud or identity theft. In a new filing with the Office of the Maine Attorney General, the city of Sheboygan, Wisconsin says it discovered a serious breach affecting 67,947 Americans. The law firm representing the Sheboygan city government, that's weird. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but Sheboygan is the city that's been mentioned in Home Alone. Yeah, by John Candy, who was apparently coming from the city of Sheboygan. Anyway, I'm not sure if this is related to the Coinbase breach, but it certainly is the exact same number of individuals, of people that have been affected by the breach on Coinbase. And so now, this is kind of a, I don't know, it's a funny coincidence. In any case, the law firm says that a city investigation revealed individuals' personal information may have been stolen, including names, dates of birth, social security numbers, license plate or vehicle ID numbers, and driver's license or state ID numbers. That's pretty massive. That's a lot of information. The social security number is probably one of the biggest ones, because that essentially allows you to work in the state or in the country, right? I'm beginning to see the beginning of ludicrous, of silliness in the crypto space. I just saw this post literally just minutes ago, just in up to $200 trillion about to enter Bitcoin from institutional investors and largest arbitrage of the century. Cypherpunk Adam Back, Bitcoin Archive. This was posted on Twitter, on X, by Bitcoin Archive, and before I had the chance to save the tweet, poof, it's gone. I don't know who posted this gaffe. I don't know what happened, but they managed to get it off very quickly. But this is what you're going to see soon. And why is this silly? It's silly because if you go on Google and simply Google how much money is there in the world, I'm sure that you're all familiar with the M2 money supply. Well, here's a breakdown of the overall money supply, the global money supply, and that is MO, physical money. This is the most basic form, cash and coins you can hold in hand. M1 is the instant access money. This includes MO plus the money in checking accounts ready to be spent anytime. Then there is M2. Broad money expands to M1 by adding savings accounts and money market funds, which aren't instantly available but can be associated or accessed fairly quickly. And then there's M3, widest money definition, the broadest category, including M2 plus larger deposits, institutional funds that move more slowly but still contribute to the economy. And the numbers for these are as follows. We've got MO with 8 trillion, M1 with 50 trillion, M2 with 90 trillion, and so M3, essentially the overall supply of money for the globe is 130 trillion. So when you begin to see posts like this, $200 trillion about to flow into Bitcoin, you have to stop and analyze the situation, because there's going to be a lot of bullshit coming out more recently on all fronts. There's BlackRock saying that Bitcoin may be in danger, which may cause a massive sell-off. It could, essentially. I mean, Larry Fink thinks, and I'm sure that all of these guys in Limelight think that they, with one word, they can sway the markets with one single word. Their heads must be, full of helium as is. But so when you see this, you have to step back and reevaluate the situation, because we are in La La Land presently. People are beginning to spew a lot of garbage that is going to affect you, your how you perceive the markets and what you're going to do from here on out. In relation to the Manhattan kidnapping, third arrest made in Manhattan, Bitcoin kidnapping torture case. Apparently a third person has come forth. A man suspected of helping kidnap and torture an Italian cryptocurrency investor in Manhattan townhouse has surrendered to New York City police. He is the third suspect in an alleged plot to extract the keys to a Bitcoin wallet belonging to Mike Valentino Tofrasto Curturan. Who comes up with these names, man? Like, come on. You're gonna introduce yourself like that? That's ridiculous. A crypto fund associate who said he was held captive and abused for nearly 3 weeks. The ordeal began on May 6th. Anyway, so 3 people were in on it, beating the crap out of that guy. And Russian national arrested over 740,000 sole crypto ambush. 2 suspects still in at large. This is a story from South Korea, and it's a reminder of why you shouldn't be getting involved into dodgy over-the-counter crypto deals, and why you shouldn't be getting involved into crypto deals with Russians in particular, because these guys manage just non-stop with them. A Russian national has been arrested in South Korea for his role in a violent robbery attempt tied to a fake cryptocurrency transaction. The suspects lured 10 Korean men to a Seoul hotel, ambushing 2 of them in a room prepared for with replica weapons, cable ties, and body armor. Authorities have confirmed that at least 2 suspects fled the country after the incident. Authorities said the suspect, man in his 20s, was taken into custody in the city of Busan on Tuesday afternoon. He's accused of assault and attempted robbery involving 1 billion won, or roughly $730,000 in cash. I guess that it must be US dollars based on the conversion rate. So this is another reason why you shouldn't be talking about your crypto portfolios, why you shouldn't be discussing, and definitely don't try to do dodgy deals with Russians. Also, remember to pick up a Descent wallet and just store your crypto on a Descent wallet. the only biometric wallet that will save your bacon in case of a hack, unless a kidnapping, in which case they might chop off your finger. And now moving on to Mr. Samson Mow, who believes that Bitcoin should have reached $1 million, but hasn't yet. What does, I saw this title and I just had to stop and read it because what's his reasoning? So Samson Mow, a well-known Bitcoin advocate and CEO of Jan3, recently shared a bold opinion on social media that reignited discussion about Bitcoin's long-term valuation. So basically Bitcoin to 1 million, 21 million times a million would be $21 trillion, somewhere in the vicinity of that. In his May 27 tweet, Mow wrote, if the world understood Bitcoin, we would be at 10 million a coin now. Now, see what I mean? Like, if you understand any form of global money supply, you would know that a 10 million Bitcoin would mean that we'd be at a $210 trillion money supply or market cap, which is impossible since we have a $130 trillion money supply for the entire globe, right? Okay, so right there, this this article is just, you know, while the statement is provocative, it reflects a deeper truth about Bitcoin's current adoption and market perception, according to Mow. So I just want to point out something, that this guy, you know, the way he's introduced, right? The CEO of this and then he's well known and everybody should be listening to him. And then in the first sentence, the article spews stuff like that because obviously this is what he said. So it's just complete ignorance and stupidity. But yet we're supposed to believe that this guy, just like so many others of them, the, you know, CEOs of banks and JP Morgan and Larry Fink and the other guy, Jamie Dimon, they're all knowing, they're all virtuous gurus that, you know, whose word need to be taken at face value because they are the CEOs of certain companies. Be very, very careful of the crap that comes out of these people's mouths. While the statement is provocative, it reflects a deeper truth about Bitcoin's current adoption and market perception. According to Mow, the main factor holding Bitcoin back from reaching the $1 million mark or even higher is a lack of global understanding. Despite its 15-year existence, Bitcoin remains widely misunderstood by both retail investors and institutional players. Many still associate it purely with speculative trading or dismiss it due to its volatility, overlooking its core principles of decentralization, scarcity, and sovereign financial ownership. I think these are the precise things why Bitcoin is being kept down, not because they're misunderstood, but because they are very well understood by governments and banks, and who know that if people get a hold of these of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, then they will no longer need banks and governments. That's the exact problem. It's not the misunderstanding, it's the understanding of these coins. Mow's view aligns with a broader belief in the Bitcoin community that education and awareness are the final barriers to exponential growth. If central banks, governments, and individuals fully grasp the implications of a deflationary, trustless monetary system, especially in contrast to fiat currencies, demand would surge to unprecedented levels. Additional obstacles include regulatory uncertainty, media skepticism, and technical barriers for mainstream adoption. Critics also argue that Bitcoin's scaling limitations and energy use concerns still need resolutions, though many believe these issues are either overstated or already being addressed by new developments. And so, in a nutshell, that's his perception, basically saying that if you only understood it, you would know why it should be $1 million. Mow, you've just, I don't even know who this guy is. I have absolutely no idea. But, you know, anytime I would see his face, I would scroll by it because he just lost credibility. I mean, that's nothing unusual, nothing that I didn't know, nothing that a 15-year-old didn't know who has been reading about Bitcoin. Anyway, make sure to pick up a Descent wallet, smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment section below. The Descent wallet right now is at a $30 discount. You get a $30 discount if you purchase one of them with the CryptoFather ref link below the video. If you buy two of them, you get a $99 discount. So get them now, store your crypto on it. Don't be like one of those guys who, you know, lose their money on crypto exchanges or get hijacked by jokers. Don't do shady deals with Russians. Remember that. Stay safe out there. Have a happy Wednesday, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.